All right, Vince, hit him in the head, right between the eyes.
His first name. Chris. This is Brubaker, Chris. Glad you're there.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Behind me, you will see a red barn, and you can clearly see this in the movie. It's the opening shot of the Crazies. George Romero is an American icon in independent film. He started the film industry pretty much single-handedly in Pittsburgh, starting with his film, Night of the Living Dead, in 1968. Before Night of the Living Dead, there was sort of a commercial industry. They did industrial films, they did commercial films for beer ads, all types of stuff like that. Well, Evans City is about half an hour to 40 minutes out of downtown Pittsburgh. It was chosen for Night of the Living Dead because one of their assistants at the commercial company he ran, called Latent Image, had heard that there was a house being torn down, and they were looking for a house that happened just at the same time for Night of the Living Dead. Well, George talks about in many interviews that he was always flying at the seat of his pants. He didn't know photography that well. He was an art student, and he sort of became the head of the company and the director by default because he knew a little bit about different aspects and enough that he became the leader versus anybody else. As far as coming back for the Crazies, they wanted a small town setting, and they had access to certain farms. Also, one cast member named Randy Burr, who worked on Night of the Living Dead, he was a local here in Evans City, and he hooked them up with certain farms to use. This is called the Beam Farm. You see a large overview of the farm over here, and you see soldiers milling about, and then over behind me, you see this silo and this building, and you see a Jeep come straight down this road, and there are various soldiers around, and our heroes from the film were standing underneath a tree that would have been over here, and they're watching the soldiers and various activities going on around here. George is an excellent editor. You can see his editing style really develop in the Crazies in particular. His style, and he has said it many times, is shoot as much as you can and figure it out in the editing. So he has things to cut to break up his shots. Angles, all different angles. He would get what he calls a dog shot. He'll film close up, over the shoulder, or reverse, anything that he could film in the surroundings to cut to if he needed to change to a different take. Well, the 5 most iconic locations from the Crazies here in Evans City would be, number 1, the post office. Behind me is the Evans City post office. Still to this day, it's a functioning post office. We are also 1 block away from the local historical marker for Night of the Living Dead and the Crazies. Another block away, we have 2 street views of the empty street of Evans City, the main street that you see in the movie. And then 2 blocks down from that, we have the scene where the man runs across the railroad tracks and he gets shot by the bridge. Okay, number 2 would be the doctor's office in the movie, which becomes the military's base of operations.
That is correct. With the ultraviolet light operative, there is no need for your mask.
Inside is where Colonel Peckham and Major Ryder do all their decision-making. Dr. Watts comes in and complains about not having the right equipment, all that type of stuff. Everything happens in here.
Watch it, Bucky!
At one point, the sheriff gets shot in the main doorway there to my side.
I want every damn civilian weapon in the entire perimeter, do you understand? Right away.
Colonel Peckham, please, sir! This is exactly the kind of thing we're trying to prevent!
Upon entering the house, you can see right here, this door is still the same as you see in the movie. Moving along, we come to this bookcase inside the room, and you can see this in many shots In the movie, it's behind the soldiers and the military officers. And in the movie, it was painted white. It's been stripped now, and it's nice wood stained. In this room, Dr. Watts comes in and he leans on this mantle and he talks to them. He says, "Where are all my supplies? I need to figure out what's going on with this Trixie virus." At the time of filming, this was a doctor's office, and it was Dr. Alsop's doctor's office. And in the movie, they needed to film at a doctor's office because at the beginning, 2 kids were burned and they needed treatment, so they were brought to this doctor's office. And then the military comes here and sort of makes it their base of operations. Number 3 would be where the military enters a house, they walk up the stairs, and they see a woman knitting. Well, if you look closely at the movie, you can see the same chandelier that you see right behind me. You see the same doorway, the same windows, and everything around the doorway. It's all the same. Yeah, I've been researching the Crazies locations for about 3 or 4 years, and over time I find this thing, I find another thing, and then sometimes I get stumped. So what I did with this location of the house, I went to Facebook and I posted screen captures from the movie, and I asked people, locals, and they recognized it. One guy ended up recognizing his mother in one shot, and he said, "I think I know where some of these locations are." So he takes me to this house, and he wasn't positive. The family actually thought that Night of the Living Dead was filmed there, and they said to him, "Ask your friend, did a woman play a piano in the house in Night of the Living Dead?" And I said, "No, but they did have a woman playing a piano in the Crazies." So that clued me into thinking, he must be right, he's onto something. So I arranged a meeting with him, and I went over there just the other day, and I walked in. I knew immediately it was the right spot. I pull out my phone with screen captures from the movie, and you can match everything just about. Although there were some renovations, it matched fully. All the rooms upstairs matched, all the angles matched. Number 4 location I would recommend to anybody coming looking for Crazies locations would be right here on Main Street in Evans City. Behind me is the Evans City Fire Department. In the movie, at the beginning, you hear the sirens go off in town. The fire trucks are loading up, the guys are getting suited up.
Must be pretty bad. I can see the flames clear over my place.
Hey, Clanker! You see the soldiers?
Soldiers?
Couple truckloads up.
Number 5 location that I would show anybody wanting to see locations from the Crazies would be the St. Killian Church in Mars. All right, we're in Mars, PA, about 5 or 6 miles from Evans City, and behind me is a famous spot from the Crazies. I'm sure you recognize it. It's the Church of St. Killian. It's where the priest goes nuts and he runs out the door and he lights himself on fire in the parking lot.
Come on, move. In, everybody. Come on, in there.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're acting like a child.
Look, there comes one of them now.
About 4 years ago, there was an effort to save the Evans City Cemetery Chapel. It was spearheaded by Gary Striner, and he sort of got on Facebook and he told fans of Night of the Living Dead that this chapel was going to be torn down, and they rallied behind him and generated almost $50,000 to save it and restore it. Otherwise, it was going to be torn down. And I think that effort sort of rallied the fans and made the films even a little bit more popular at the moment, and it still continues year by year to grow.
Hey, Vince, Al, you want to get about 4 or 5 men and a couple dogs? There's a house over here behind those trees. We want to go check it out.
I don't think many people in the area were into the film. They knew it was filmed here, but didn't remember much about it. Locals sort of look down on it because it's also taking place in a cemetery, which is all their relatives, and understandably they don't want it to be desecrated in any way. I think the reason why genre fans, in particular horror fans, get into finding the film locations is because they really have an affection for these movies. Horror fans are really enthusiastic about the films that they love, and it seems that they want to know more about these films. They want to know about the creators. They want to know about everything that happened in the making of them, and that includes going to the locations where they were filmed. This is a barn area where you see a white-suited soldier walk into this doorway, and across here you see a man shooting at them, and all the soldiers are over here hiding behind things, and the one soldier goes in the doorway and sort of looks out from it and starts shooting his rifle. Right now we are in the Living Dead Museum on Main Street in Evans City. It's a celebration of their town. A lot of little towns like this struggle, but this actually brings business to the town. People come here and spend money, they buy food, they travel here for our event called the Living Dead Weekend. It's bringing people around, and it's great for the town.
The wave of murder which is sweeping the eastern third of the nation is being committed by creatures who feast upon the flesh of their victims.